Now that you're in this place of your brain isn't connecting dots and you're not thinking rationally, how are you going to get out? So hopefully I have some answers for you. Welcome to Elevate. Well, this week I would love to say that I'm doing much better, but that would be a lie. So I think a great space to start at right now is that sometimes when you're really dysregulated and you don't like the muck that you're dealing with, the path out is right now not moving as quickly as I would like it to, but I think I need to try and just be okay with where I'm at right now. That I don't know where I'm going to be working. That there's a lot of unknowns right now. And so this kind of reminded me a lot of fear and how fear and safety actually are those two things that really debilitate us as humans. And I'm dealing with an awful lot of that. With a job, obviously, that makes a lot of unknowns for your ability to survive and pay your bills. And I have been very blessed with a career that I never had to worry. For 20 years, I just haven't had to worry about what I was going to do for a job. That aspect has always been the one thing that's been constant in my life in 20 years. Other things are a little bit more constant and consistent and better, such as my family situation and my children and me and our routine. But this career aspect is unknown. Let's just put it that way. I thought I would be okay making the decision, and I kind of spiraled. And I think that is a normal progression, to have an expectation that when you lose a job, it's okay to not be okay for a while. That was actually the song that came up. It's okay to be not okay. It's not like I'm going to be in this space forever, but my physical self has been going through a process, and I'm going to be okay with not fixing the unknown right now. What I'm going to try to do is work on this, and it can be as simple as getting more sleep, sit down and do some breathing exercises. A lot of what I've found with problem solving and moving forward is not ramming your head against the same thing, trying to figure it out. It's if I can't get direction and I don't see a clear path moving forward right there for this, then I can work on other things that will create health. My mom, I am more of a mental, emotional. I work on those things and I try to be healthy in those areas. And physically too, but my mom is more of the physical is very important to her. So eating really healthy, exercising every day. And she just reminded me as well that, a lot of your physical well-being affects your brain. So if I can't go do my job, which is what I really want to do, I can go on a walk and I can strengthen my body and I can do things that will keep me strong, so that when I do have opportunities that come up, I'll be prepared. So it's basically staying in this preparation phase and doing whatever strengthening in other areas that I can do. And just remember, I think for me, that things will always and have always worked out. And so the fear is debilitating. I should not focus on the unknown. I can't really do a lot about a lot of the unknowns in the future. So I can prepare. I can decide and focus on what I want. And I can still move forward. I'm working on other things. And so the dysregulation has been a lot more about lowering my expectations right now. Not being hard on myself because I don't know what I'm doing. Not pushing myself, because those are also things that just cause me to collapse. So being a little bit more gentle, laughing more with my kids. These are just small things, but they're ways that I'm letting go of some of that anxiety and worry and just enjoying more moments. And the dysregulation has been pretty bad this week. I am really struggling to be on time places, and time is really sludgy. So while I'm still fast-paced up here, I'm zoning out. I'm disengaging. I'm spacing out, and I'm literally trying to get myself ready to go to work or an appointment or to go pick up my child. And I realize I've been standing there for 20 minutes. Or I thought I got ready in a half hour and I thought I'd have a lot more time to do other things before I did something. And instead I realized I used up that entire time. So my concept of time is just really off. time has been one of the things that I've gotten the hardest or the most amount of criticism about over the course of my life. And I realize now that that's one thing I do. I give up my time commitments when I'm really not okay. And I know a lot of people find that very disrespectful, but I find lying disrespectful, stealing disrespectful. There's a lot of other things that I could be doing as a human being that I'm not doing. I'm not abusing my children. That if I'm late by 5 or 10 minutes somewhere, it's probably not going to be the end of the world. So I can acknowledge that I need to work on being on time. But more than anything, I know now, after 40 years, that it's because I'm dysregulated. So when I'm starting to not be on time, it's not that I don't care. I'm beating myself up the entire time. It's that this is one of the things that happens when I get really dysregulated. So I need to prepare for what I have to do. And that means maybe cutting out a ton of other things that I normally do in my routine and just cut it down to is all you need to do is be on time. You don't need makeup. You don't need to do your hair. You don't need to clean up your mess in the bathroom. You just need to be on time. And just really defining those things, because as I care about what I do and how well I do, when I'm late, I just beat myself up. So I'm already not okay, I'm feeling hard on myself. I'm feeling guilty for where I'm at, and I'm not feeling the best. But then I go and be late, which is also something that I try and be on time with. And it just kind of makes me feel worse. And a whole lot of I don't know what I'm thinking about. Really losing track of your frame of thought. And this is where I just really think that people that go through trauma need to have people understand that you can't think your way out of it sometimes. It is really, I know I'm an intelligent person and I have a ton of coping skills, but when I get to this point and I try to pull out a coping skill, I'm just standing there doing nothing. But it's your ability to think and make connections and have that logical sense that really leaves your body when you are dysregulated is all I can say. And that's something that can be so frustrating. That's again why I try to not make very many decisions. I guess this brings up another point, because when we try to get out of the space that we're in, I can acknowledge right now that I'm not thinking very clearly. So if I try to get myself out of this situation, I might make some really irrational decisions. And I don't like making irrational decisions. I like making rational decisions that make sense and move me forward in life. So it's really imperative for me to acknowledge that when I'm not thinking rationally, don't go gung-ho into stuff. Be okay taking the time to be in this space and just know, I need to take care of myself. And then when the timing is right, I will be rational to make a good decision. So that motto of don't do anything stupid really applies to me at this point. It'll happen. But right now, the thinking isn't clear. My functioning isn't clear. So I get to start down at the bottom of the barrel. And that's probably where a lot of people are, with a whole lot of depression added onto that. And when we talk about elevation, we really don't start out happy and in the best of places. When we try to think, I need to be uplifted, we're coming from a space of maybe not feeling the best. So I think starting at the bottom is a really good space to be at, to try and figure out how do we get out of it. And that's, I think, part of why I'm in this space, is just being able to get down to the nitty-gritty of this is what a lot of other people are experiencing. Now that you're in this place of your brain isn't connecting dots and you're not thinking rationally, how are you going to get out? So hopefully I have some answers for you. Other than the biggest one that I know right now is just don't resist what's going on. Take care of yourself in the ways that you can, and don't force that thing that's not moving right now. Don't keep trying to make things happen that aren't happening. It's a sign that things are brewing somewhere in the background. Things are moving, but they're not at your pace. So you have to deal with you wanting things maybe when the timing isn't right. And then work on those things that can move forward, that are easier, that just happen. That's where your energy needs to go. hunkering down on self-care. That's about all I can really do right now, and it's working. I'm not really spiraling down into beating myself up. So I can just acknowledge that this is not the most pleasant space to be, but that I'll get out of it. This is Elevate with Lindy Fox. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well.